Hello, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith and Black Strat Time Report. And as we get closer to the holiday, you want to be real careful while things drying up in here. We got some cross currents going on. So what we did have yesterday in the SPY is when we got hit late, we got that outside day. Now we poked down just a little bit, but now a doji because we got a little bit of a mixture in the sectors, and you can see SPY here on our 60, just kind of sitting here, still towards the lows. We do that also causes an outside week. Right, so that's going to be a broadening formation on a shorter term time frame. So here you're going to see the higher high and here these lower lows. So it's a little tight in here, as it should be, because if you look at the month as we're getting closer to the end of the month, not much of a range. So the question is, how do we finish this month off? And then which side of this thing do we take out? Because this is an outside bar, right? So that would be a 3-2-2 back down if we can take that out. But we've got a little bit more time on that. If you go to QQQ, Q's also an outside day, and then poke down a little bit. Not quite an outside week just yet, but you can see here now, Q's inside on the 60. Yep, now we're an inside 60, so I want to know about that. That's something I definitely want to know about, because remember yesterday we had a beautiful rev strat to finish off the day. Inside poke up, boom, and finished them off. That was a real nice close yesterday, for trading anyway, not if you're long. If we go to the diamonds, here, and still tight range on the week, poke down just a little bit, real tight range. You can see how tight this range is for the month, right? So as we finish this off, we want to know which side of this do we take off come December. Got a few more days on that though. If we go to small cappers, remember we had a reversal last week. 2 up by taking out the highs, 2 down, and still 2 on our way down. Outside day to the downside here. Small cappers still having a problem, but you got an inside 60 now. So we'll see either side of that, and you can see this on the month coming all the way back towards the lows, right? And remember, these 3 months were completely inside of that, right? So the question is, are you going to get back into that range? That would be a problem, but we'll see. One of the things that we do, as I tweet out the gap list that we're keeping an eye on in the morning, and then we go through it to see what we're looking for, and we're going to look for reversals. Yes, and if we go to AppVo. So AppVo, if you go down to a 30, and first of all, you're going to see this on the daily. 2 down, red kicker, boom, back up through previous range. We like that, which causes the outside week, right? And you can see all this month, it's been a lot higher, so we'll see how that goes. But if you go to your 30, you're going to see this. Pokes down just a little bit, 2 down, 2 back up, boom, 2-2 reversal, real nice. Now we're going to see if I get that 30 to go 2 up, 2 down, and continue. So for the next half an hour, over 12.19 is going to get my attention. So we'll see how that goes. If you go to QLGN, if you go to your 60, you're going to see this. So one thing I talk about when you start to strat trade and you're going to watch just the gap list with the 30-60 combo is that you look at the 30s and the 60s 20 minutes after the hour and 10 minutes before the hour, right, to get ready for the new flip at the bottom of the hour to see if there's going to be any combinations thereof. So if you look at this QLGN 60, you're going to see this inside bar here. 2 up, inside, boom, off she goes. And that was a real nice quick move off that inside 60, right? So, but if you went to your 30, you'd say, well, technically this is a continuation because it's a 2 up, then inside here. But if you go down to the 30, you're going to see what sets this up. Here, the inside 30, the poke down rev strat, 1, 2, 2. And if that works, that triggers the 60, which means you can buy it above this and as soon as it takes out the 60 high for your ad. Also, one of the things that's important here too is, albeit this is 2 up and inside, this is red, which means you had corrective activity, right? On a shorter term time frame, you definitely did, and that's why you can break it down to that 30. So a couple nice gappers there. If we got any strength here, we got crude coming up here off an inside day, and so you see still an inside week. And you see, but you can see this inside day back to the upside, and that's getting some XLE. XLE having a nice little day, and albeit doji on the month, but we'll see how that goes. Inside 60 to the upside, and if you go to OIH, here to a lesser extent coming up. And so some of the big names like PXD having a nice day here. PXD, get boy. And remember on a Monday, yesterday, we had a 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2 up in PXD. And that continued on a Tuesday. That's something I want to know about. And if you go to the weekly, you're going to see this reversal here. 2 down by taking out the previous low, 2 up right there. Boom. And you can take it right there. 2-2 reversal on the week for PXD. How far it's going to go is another story because you got an inside doji on the month, but we'll see. If you go to Oxy, and Oxy trying to come up and take out that week as well. We'll see if that goes there. And you can see that inside 60 right there. There's your measured move going up, sideways. Now give me measured move. 2-2 reversal on a Monday. Follow through on a Tuesday. We like that. If you go to EOG, and EOG also took out Friday's highs, and then boom, they came back today with the power and the power of that crude oil coming up. Call this a Momo hammer here on the 60. Not inside, it's a 2 up. But anybody got short in here? Boom, stick it to them right here. So we'll see if that continues as well. If we go to CLR, you see a lot of these things looking similar, right? CLR, now this is going to be RevStrat week if you can take this out. You see this? Inside week, 2 down, 2 up. Right, so you got a RevStrat week. That's good. You can see how choppy it was before that, but now a nice long green bar on the daily, and that's what we like. Here's your inside Momo hammer. Right, didn't take out the highs or the lows, but anybody got short in here got stuck, and you can see it's what we call a simultaneous break. All of the energies went in the same time in that same hour. Right, that's something we want to know about. That tells me that they were coming in. Institutions are coming in to buy anybody that has a drop of oil. They didn't care who it was, right? Everybody. So that's important to know. If we go to FAS, the financials trying to come up here, not really motoring though, but you are still an inside week. And so the important part about looking at stuff like this, here's JP Morgan trying to go 2 down, 2 up on the week, is that when you're trying to gauge, what the futures are going to do, and you're going to see some strength and some weakness, that tells me they might not do anything. And that's kind of what's going on, especially when you're coming into a holiday week or holiday Thursday where people start to travel and go do other things. So be aware of things potentially drying up. If we go to Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree having a nice little day, and now they're $1.25 tree. They're up in their prices, so 2 inside 60s here. So I'm not sure how far this is going to go, but it's also a good example of when people come to me and they're like, I want to build a portfolio using the strat. I'm like, okay. You might recall we've been talking about this since there. Outside month, 2 down, 3-2-2, right? And no lower low on the month. There you go. There's your position. If you go to GILD, and GILD with a late charge here, taking out last month's highs, and this was an inside month. That makes us a RevStrat month. 1, 2, 2. For the rest of the month, over 69.41. We'll see, like a lot of things kind of drying up into here, but we'll see going forward. If we go to DY, and DY caught in the mother bar. So this is 60, so they came firing out of here. But as soon as you have an inside bar, whatever bar is before that is called a mother bar, and that's what you want to get out of, which right now it is not doing. You got a 3-hour inside pattern, so we'll see if any reversals come later in the day over there. If you go to Burlington, Burl also got some other bar issues, but inside on the 60 if they're going to take it out. You do have an outside week, took out both sides of that, and you're trying to retake this hammer month over 288.78. You're right around there. We'll see, but you can see here right on the opening, right? You can see these lower lows, bright red kicker. As soon as this comes back, tags this, and then goes green again, you can take that, and you're going to see this plain as day. Outside week is a broadening formation on a shorter time frame here. So it hits the magnitude by taking these guys out. The question, you're going to be stronger to do anything else. I'd keep an eye on that monthly break over there. If we go to ENTA, this thing's a little thin, but it's a good example of what we look for. 2-2 on a Tuesday. This is a 2 down on a Monday. Slight lower low, and then boom, there's your reversal, and back up she goes, right? And what that does is that changes that continuity back to green on the week. Then you have an inside 60 to the upside. We'll see if it's going to be strong enough to take out this. Doji on the month, so a little questionable, but I always like to point out examples of what we're looking for. So on the downside, you got Apple 2-2 on a Tuesday. Not totally getting pounded, but some of these big boys feeling a little bit of heat. 2 up, 2 down on a Tuesday, which changes that week, keeps that week red. So we'll see as it hits its magnitude on the monthly, the 3-2-2. If we go to Home Depot, like I said, some of these guys that have been heating up, just cooling off a little bit, not totally getting killed. Netflix, and Netflix 2-2 weaker. That gets my attention because it's still red on the month, right? 2 up, 2 down, and Netflix feeling a little heat. Just kind of drying up a little bit for now, but that certainly has my attention. Anytime that 60 goes back red, you got full time frame continuity to the downside. ZM on the gapper gets hit. Now just inside on the 60. We'll see if there's any more continuation on that, but anytime you can hold that gap lower, that gets my attention. If we go to VMW takes out last month's lows. 2 up, 2 down month, right? So we got some problems in here now, inside 60, and we can expect these inside 60s because, like I said, a lot of people heading off to Granny's house. So if we go to Cyber, CYBR, Cyber, RevStrat weak. The inside weak, the poke up, 2-2 reversal after a 1, that's a RevStrat. Boom, back through previous range. This thing's having all sorts of problems, and so we'll see what comes of that. And if you go to a 30, you're going to see this. Right here's what you look for. This is a 2 down. This is a 2 up. Boom, right there. 2-2 reversal back into the basement for Cyber. If we go to Disney, Disney's still having all sorts of problems. And you can look at that monthly here, and you see all these months. It's taking out all those lows. So Disney's still having problems here. Now popping up just a little. We'll see if we can get an inside 30 on that. This is where you prefer it. You want to look at this 30 here. You see these lower lows? And you see these higher highs. Broadening formation, 2 up, 2 down, and boom, back through previous range, down she goes. That's what you want to look for. If we go also in the Honeywell, and Honeywell having some issues here. Honeywell on the inside day Momo shooter. All right, boom, down she goes. And if that works, takes out last week's lows, and potentially an outside monther here. We'll see how that sets up. There was your inside 60 to the down, or inside 30 to the downside. If we go to Autodesk, Autodesk having all sorts of problems, and this was a slight 2 up on the week last week by taking out the highs, and then boom, 2-2 reversal right back down, getting smacked, setting up for the 3-2-2 on the month. Although we got some more month left, anything good on them 60s? Still just kind of walking down here. We'll see if that sets up again for us. If we go to QDEL and QDL, 2 up on the week by taking out the previous high end, 2 down, 2-2 reversal coming back down. Just a chop shop on the month, as you can see, but some nice moves in here if you know what to look for, because you can see in this weekly, this was an inside bar. That's a poke down. That's a RevStrat right back to the upside. And then this is a higher high, 2 up, 2 down, boom. So knowing how to trade these things back and forth can be real helpful. If we go to Overstock, Overstock, 2 up, 2 down on the week. All right, is this an inside bar? Wait, 89. Yep, this is RevStrat. That was an inside week. That poked up and boom, RevStrat down here. Higher high, lower low. That's going to be your broadening formation right here. Higher high, and now lower low off of that. And we're not going to draw this because maybe she'll keep it going. If we go to, and also setting up the big old shooter on the month. If we go to OTA, here still having problems. And here's that outside day to the downside, getting clobbered. And if this works, it's going to set up the outside month, which we got. So we'll see if anything more comes of that. Right now, you're inside on the 60. If we go to Servicenow, here in Servicenow, inside week to the downside right here, and if that works, potential outside month. Inside on the 60 as of right now. Like I said, a lot of these big boys not participating, like your Netflix, your Googs, not totally getting killed, but not participating either. There's your 2-2 reversal on the week. Amazon still suspect just a little bit after yesterday's 2 up, 2 down reversal. If we go to SE having problems. Here's your 3-2 down on the month, taking out last month's lows, and you can see coming down here after the inside day to the downside yesterday, now an inside 60. If we go to AUR, and AUR, there you go, 2 up inside, 2-1-2 reversal on the day, and Slamola back down. Speaking of Slamola, SOPA. Oh boy. SOPA, look at this perfect 60. 2 up, inside 60, boom, down she goes. And that was below 38.30, down to 24.15. So some nice moves there. So just be aware that things might dry up as we get closer to the holiday, but we'll see how it goes. We certainly got some of them big boys in trouble. That's going to do it for Dan Rump Smith. Mr. the Black, Strat Time Report.